WMBC, Luke Hildebrand here for another Wednesday devotional. And this week I want to share something with you that happened to me on Sunday as I was walking to church here for the Continue the Conversation live stream. And this is prompted by something that Terry mentioned in his message, or had a question that he wanted to put out to all of us who had watched the message to think about over the week. Unfortunately, we didn't get to talk about it on Sunday because of technical difficulties, but one of the things that Terry asked is, in that story that he shared of Joseph, we're told that God is with Joseph, even when it didn't seem like he was there. And so one of the questions that Terry wanted us to think about during the week was, how have you experienced God's presence with you even in the midst of change and difficulty? And so on Sunday I was on my way to church here for the live stream, and so I should back up a little bit. At least a week earlier, I had a break here at work and I wanted to get outside for a little bit, so I took my disc golf discs and I went out and I throw around the property here a little bit sometimes for a few minutes, just to get out of my own head or to stretch my legs while I'm working. And I threw one of my discs into a tall pine tree, and there was no way I could get it down. It was too high up there. I thought maybe the wind would blow it down. It was a windier day. I checked the next 2 days and nothing happened. It was still up there, and so I figured it was lost. And then on Sunday, I was walking to church and I just was listening to a podcast. And so I had my head down and just kind of thinking, and all of a sudden into my field of view on just off the sidewalk on a lawn was my disc, like just sitting there, upside down with my name on it and everything. And it was just right there. And I still have no idea how that happened. I assume it blew down, or I don't know how it got from the top of the tree to that front yard, just sitting there by the side of the road that I take to come to work. And as I saw it there and I picked it up, I just had this moment of like, God's with you. God is here. And that was actually before I watched Terry's message for Sunday. So I wasn't even thinking about the fact that this is something that I should be thinking about. It wasn't there. And so I just had this moment of when I wasn't expecting it, God reminded me that he is here and he is capable of getting our attention. He's capable of doing things we don't expect, and changing our circumstances. And just like in the story of Joseph, right? He goes through all of these kind of, he gets beaten down, right? Sold into slavery. He goes to prison, and he's at his lowest point, but then he's a prisoner with no hope of getting out of prison, and in a few years from then he is in charge of Egypt. I had an experience of God's presence with me, and a reminder that he can change our circumstances. And even if he doesn't change our circumstances, he's right there with us, and we can have these reminders that he's there. And even just knowing that God is there, it might not change our circumstances, but it can change our perspective. So I'd encourage you to comment below on ways that you've experienced God's presence, and ways that you've seen that he is with you over the last week. I hope this video was encouraging for you. I felt encouraged that day, and even now thinking about it, I hope we all remember that God is with us. He is present, and that can change the way we see our world. It can change the way that we do the things that we do. And if we trust him with our lives, with the decisions that we make, and we keep acting and doing things based on the fact that he's right there with us, I think that will lead to some really awesome things, even in a time of a pandemic. God bless.